Welcome back to Movie Recap. Today I am going to explain the movie My Father is a Hero, released in the year 1995. Kung Wei is a Chinese policeman assigned to work from the sidelines to spy on and catch the local gangsters. He spends most of his time working, which has been damaging to his family life. His asthmatic wife and 8-year-old son Kung Ku hardly ever get to see him. At the beginning of the movie, Wei is on one such mission, aiming to arrest a group of thugs selling fake passports. He is impatient because after the arrest he has to be at his son's martial arts competition. Wei is also broadly trained in martial arts and can usually take on a group of people at once. He fights the thugs in minutes and arrests their leader. Following that, he runs to the arena and sees his son perform. Amidst it, the criminals arrive there and start a fight yet again. While hiding from everyone else, Wei manages to defeat them. One member of the group, however, enters the arena and holds a woman hostage. Chaos ensues as people start to run away. Wei's son Ku notices this and uses his skills to save the woman. Wei helps his son in the task, but when the police arrive he leaves at last. Ku is praised for doing something so courageous. The following day, Ku receives an award from the mayor for his bravery. When the family returns home after the function, Wei is arrested. On reaching the police station, Wei is informed that his arrest was a ruse, so the gangsters in the streets do not suspect him to be a spy. His superior wants him to befriend a criminal named __, who is currently in prison and formerly worked for a gang leader named Po. Wei doesn't want to take the job because that would mean he doesn't get to return home, but his superior convinces him, claiming that he will only have to do it for a few weeks. Following that, Wei meets __, as an inmate and instantly tells him about his plan to escape. They fake a fight, making a policeman open the cell doors for them. Taking the opportunity, they push him away and run outside. After a narrow escape, __, feels indebted to Wei for getting him out of the prison. They return to Wei's house and tell Ku to take care of his mother while Wei is away at work. By the next morning they reach Hong Kong and meet the gang leader Po. He is a cruel man ready to kill anyone for his own good. Po is planning to buy explosives from a dealer the next day, but he doesn't want to spend money. Wei suggests one of them wear an explosive vest and snatch the money. After getting their hands on the goods that way, the other party wouldn't fire at them, fearing the explosives would go off. Po likes the plan, but he orders Wei to wear the vest fitted with explosives in. Off-duty Hong Kong detective Anne Fong and her boyfriend Inspector Chang are on a date at a restaurant. They appear to be arguing about something in the same restaurant. Po arrives to close the deal with the other party. He gets hold of the explosives and hands them a suitcase with money. When they walk away with the money, Wei and his team attack them and get the suitcase. However, they are soon surrounded by the other party and asked to hand the suitcase back. This is when the explosive vest comes in handy. In the meantime, Fong and Cheng help the people in the restaurant to get out safely. When the police arrive, they get into an intense shootout. Fong helps the police and holds the criminals at gunpoint, but she has to retreat when her boyfriend is taken hostage by Wei. To escape from the police, he gets into a car with Fong and threatens her to drive. They are stopped on an overbridge, but at last he manages to escape. Fong is intrigued by Wei. She uses her detective associates to find out that his family still lives somewhere in Beijing. Somewhere else, Ku gets bullied in school because his father is a criminal. He wants to believe otherwise, but his friends show him a paper with Wei's picture on it. On returning home, he gets a call from Wei and tells him that his mother is extremely sick. Wei promises to send them more money for medicines, but asks them to keep their conversation a secret from his mother. He also gives the kid a phone number so he can call in the time of an emergency. At school, the bullies throw water at Ku's best friend, making him cry. Having had enough, Ku fights them all efficiently and teaches them a lesson. After school, Detective Fong follows him home. She meets his mother to inquire more about Wei. Pretending to be his business partner, she is asked to stay The night is their guest at midnight. Wei's wife finds Fong going through their belongings. She tells her that she knows Fong is not Wei's business partner. Still, the wife is not mad at her for lying. Fong finds out from her that Wei is actually a great person. This confuses her even more on why he is working for a gang. Wei's wife knows that the disease is eating her up and she is not going to survive for long. She senses that Fong is a good person and charges her with taking care of her son when she passes away. The two get along well. Back in Hong Kong, Po is organizing an auction for stolen antiques on a cruise ship. When Wei shows knowledge about the antiques, Po begins to suspect him. Wei tells his superior in Beijing about his findings and is asked to stay in the gang for a few more weeks. One night, Wei's wife gets an asthma attack that turns worse when she falls off the bed. Fong and Ku help her get to the hospital. On her deathbed, she gives Fong a letter addressed to Wei. She also asks her to take care of Ku and passes away. Back in Hong Kong, Wei receives a message in a blinker about his wife's death. He freezes in shock, failing to understand that Po is ordering him to turn the blinker off. Because of this, he gets beaten up badly. Meanwhile, Fong prepares to bring Ku to Hong Kong with her. While packing up, she finds a picture of Wei with the police inspector she met earlier. It is now clear to her that Wei is actually a policeman working as a spy. She gets a boat to return to Hong Kong but gets into a fight with the boat owner. It turns out that the owner is an associate of Po, who has asked the man to keep an eye on Fang. After defeating the owner and his henchmen, Fong and Ku make their way to Hong Kong. There, Fong asks her boyfriend Inspector Cheng for help, but he tells the media prints out the news about Ku along with Wei's name, addressing him as a policeman. In the meantime, Ku sees policemen outside Fong's house and figures out that she is in trouble. He escapes and wanders around the streets of Hong Kong. Wei finds out about his son being in the city and goes to meet him. Little does he know that Po has also read the news about the missing child and now suspects Wei to be a policeman. He finds Ku in the streets and kidnaps him. Wei meets Fong in her house and is given the letter that his wife had written him. Fong also informs him that Ku has escaped and promises to help him with everything he needs on his way back. Wei reads the letter where his wife has told him to trust Fong. On reaching Po's apartment, he sees his son sitting beside the gangster. Still, Wei doesn't react and pretends like he is seeing Ku for the first time to test if he will continue to pretend. Po hits the kid brutally but gets no reaction out of Wei. At last, Wei chokes his son and fakes killing him. In reality, Ku is using a breathing technique that Wei had taught him. The gangsters think the kid is dead and throw his body in a dumpster. An impressed Po brings Wei to a club and throws him a party. Hours later, Wei returns to the dumping ground to look for his son. However, he finds out that it was all a setup organized by Po to reveal his secret. Po and his henchmen attack Wei, and an intense fight ensues between them. At first, Wei manages to defeat all of his men, but in a one-on-one fight with Po he loses. That is until Fong intervenes and saves him at last. Somewhere else. Auction of stolen antiques that he is organizing on a ship. He has invited millionaires from around the world and plans to rob and kill them. Since the auction is illegally set, he is sure no one of the attendees has announced their location. Po's men set bombs around the ship with which he plans to threaten the guests. Is given clothes and a key card that will help him disguise himself as a guest in the event. However, before the mission, Po finds out that is helping Ku run away. He shoots him and throws his body in the water. Ku rescues and is told that only his father can save hundreds of people aboard the ship. With his last breath, hands Ku a keycard and tells him to inform his father about Po's plan. Wei is with Fong after she saved him from Po. He gets a call from Ku, who tells him all about the plan. The kid asks Wei to collect the keycard from a location and board the ship to stop the bad guys. He then finds out that Po has appointed a man to keep an eye on all the explosives through the monitors and make sure no one sees them. Ku quickly thinks of a plan and knocks out the man. Now he can see everything that is happening on the ship and can communicate with his father through a blinker. After getting the key card from said location, Wei boards the ship like the others. Ku briefs him on the locations of the explosives and he disables them. When only one explosive is left to be found, Po reveals his true intention to the guests. He sets off one explosive and kills his business partner. The guests freak out and start running around trying to save their lives. Wei finally comes in front of Po and shows him the disabled explosive, sends men to fight Wei as usual. They do not last more than a minute against him. He uses a pair of antlers and easily defeats them. The guests begin to evacuate, which angers Po even more since his plan to rob the millionaires has failed. Po and two of his best fighters go against Wei in an unfair battle. Just when he is about to lose, Ku joins him. The father and son beat him up together and finally win the battle. However, an injured Po holds Ku hostage and chokes him. Ku uses the breathing exercise taught by his father to delay the choke. Wei manages to get his son free by shooting Po on his shoulder. A helicopter arrives to aid Wei and Ku is on his way to climb up the helicopter when Po sets off the timer of the last bomb and pins Wei down. Seeing that he has lost, he wants to take Wei down with him as well. Fong and Ku manage to save themselves after flying away. Some seconds later, Wei gets out of the pin and knocks Po out. He jumps in the water and narrowly escapes the boat's explosion. At last everyone is safe. Wei reunites with his son in a rescue camp in the harbor. That was all from the video. I hope you liked it. Subscribe for more content like this and hit the like button to help us out. Also leave a comment if you want to